Ladies and gentlemen, you ever meet someone and think, how do they look so damn good for their age? Like, not just surface level pretty, but alive, energetic, lit up from the inside. And yeah, maybe your first thought is, must be good genes. Or they probably have some expensive skincare routine I can't afford. But let me tell you something most people don't talk about. It's not luck, and it's not just DNA. It's how they live. It's what they do when no one's watching. It's the story they're telling themselves every morning, the way they move through life, the thoughts they feed, the way they manage stress, love their bodies, stay connected, and actually give a damn about their why. We've been sold this idea that aging is this slow, inevitable decline, that at a certain point, we're supposed to start shrinking, our dreams, our bodies, our relevance, but that's a lie. The truth is, looking and feeling younger has way less to do with numbers and way more to do with habits, energy, and alignment. And the wildest part, you're already holding the keys. This isn't about reversing time. It's about refusing to fade. It's about getting really honest with yourself about how you're showing up in your own life. Because when you take care of what's underneath the surface, your mind, your relationships, your purpose, that's when everything on the outside starts to shift too. So if you're ready to stop chasing quick fixes and start building something real, keep listening. The truth's not complicated. It's just not sexy enough to be sold in a bottle, but it works. And once you see it, you won't unsee it. You ever notice how some people just seem to stay stuck in time? Like they hit 40 and they just kinda hover there. Almost like they made some secret deal with the universe. And then there's others. Same age, same decade. And it looks like life has hit them with every truck imaginable. But here's the truth nobody talks about. It's not just skincare, diet, or dumb luck. It's mindset, the way you think, the story you tell yourself about aging. That's the real game changer. Let's get brutally honest for a second. Most people start mentally aging way before their bodies do. They wake up one day in their 30s and decide, well, I guess I'm getting old now. Like someone handed them a script, and they just followed it without reading the fine print. They stop doing the fun stuff. They stop wearing the bright colors. They stop dancing in the kitchen. They pull their hair back tighter, wear more beige, and shrink into the version of themselves they think the world expects from someone their age. That right there, that's the beginning of looking old, because your brain is a pattern-making machine. If you feed it the belief that aging means slowing down, it will literally start slowing you down. It's not just a vibe, it's biology. Studies have shown that people who have a positive mindset about aging actually live longer. Their immune systems are stronger. Their memories stay sharper. You can literally rewire your body's response to time by shifting your thoughts. That's how powerful your inner dialogue is. You know what doesn't make you look younger? Pretending you're 25 when you're 45. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're not faking anything here. We're flipping the narrative. Because when you carry yourself like life is still full of things you get to do not have to do, you radiate energy that's ageless. That's what people see. That's what makes them go, wait, you're how old? And here's where it gets even crazier. It's not just about thinking younger. It's about staying curious. Curiosity is youthful. Have you ever seen a 7-year-old stare at a bug like it's the most fascinating thing in the world? That wide-eyed wonder, that's still in you, but you've buried it under tax returns and meal prepping and doom scrolling. You want to feel younger, wake up and ask, what's something I can do today that I've never done before? And then do it. It could be small, it could be weird, who cares, just break the routine. Routine is where joy goes to die. People who look young often don't even realize they're doing anything special. But if you look closely, it's this. They have this refusal to surrender to the script. They don't obsess over the number on their birthday cake. They're too busy learning salsa, or starting that side hustle, or reading books they never got to as a kid. They invest in experience. And experience, my friend, keeps your eyes bright and your spirit loud. Let's not forget humor either. Do you know how attractive it is to laugh easily? People who can find something to smile about in the middle of chaos. Those people don't wrinkle the same way. That's not woo-woo. That's neuroscience. Laughter releases feel Good chemicals that lower stress, reduce inflammation, and send oxygen rushing through your cells. So yeah, your mindset isn't just fluff. It's literally affecting the way your body breaks down or doesn't. You have to stop tying youth to looks. It's not about smooth skin, it's about lightness. A lightness of being. A way of carrying yourself through the world that says, I'm not done yet. You've met those people, right? They walk into a room and the air shifts. You can't quite place it, but they have something. It's presence. It's confidence without ego. It's energy that comes from still being in love with life. Aging isn't the enemy. The enemy is how we talk about aging. How we turn it into a slow crawl toward irrelevance. That belief system. Throw it out. Replace it with the idea that every year is another layer of depth, another chance to grow, another story to tell. When you think like that, when you really believe it, it shows up on your face, your posture, your choices, and people notice. They can't help but ask what your secret is. Stress is the real wrinkle-maker, not time. That's what nobody's saying out loud. We're all out here panicking about birthdays, counting gray hairs, spending hundreds on creams and serums. But the truth, the real reason people start looking older than they feel, is because of the pressure they carry every single day. Stress ages you from the inside out. And I'm not just talking about looking tired. I'm talking about the way your skin changes, the way your eyes lose their spark, the way your body starts moving like it's heavier than it really is. That's not just time passing. That's stress grinding away at you like sandpaper. Let's break it down. When you're stressed, your body goes into survival mode. Cortisol floods your system. It's your body's alarm bell, and it's supposed to protect you. But most of us, we live with that alarm going off constantly. Emails, bills, deadlines, arguments, expectations, overthinking. Your brain doesn't know the difference between running from a tiger and dealing with a passive-aggressive boss. It reacts the same way. And when cortisol sticks around too long, it starts breaking things down. Your collagen, your sleep, your patience, your joy. You ever notice someone who's been through a rough year and they just look older? That's not in your head. That's biology showing up on their face. Your skin, your hair, your energy. They're all mirrors of your inner world. And stress is sneaky. It doesn't always look like panic attacks or tears. Sometimes it looks like tension in your shoulders that never goes away. It looks like waking up at 3 a.m. because your brain won't shut up. It looks like scrolling for hours because your nervous system is fried and you can't take one more real conversation. That kind of chronic, low-level stress, it's just as damaging as a meltdown, probably worse, because it's quiet, it's constant, and it becomes your normal. You can't Botox your way out of stress. You can't green smoothie your way out of it either. Because it's not about the surface. It's not even about your habits, not at first. It's about awareness. You have to notice how much pressure you're carrying that doesn't even belong to you. How much of your stress is you trying to meet other people's expectations? How much of it is from ignoring your own needs for too long? How much is from pretending everything's fine when it's not? That kind of stress creates micro-trauma in your body, and your body keeps the score. You've probably seen someone who's technically aged but still glows. They might have lines, but they have this softness, a light in their eyes. That's what being stress-free looks like. It's not perfect skin, it's peaceful energy. It's someone who's made peace with not having everything under control, who's let go of the obsession with always being productive, who laughs loudly, breathes deeply, and gives themselves grace. That glow. That's not luck. That's a nervous system that's been cared for. And let's be real. The world doesn't make it easy. We're not designed for the amount of input we're dealing with. Phones buzzing every minute, news cycles that never end, the pressure to be successful by 30, to be hot and spiritual and rich all at the same time. That noise, it's killing your vibe, and your vibe is what makes you look alive. It's not about looking young. It's about looking present, looking like you're still here, not buried under 1,000 to-do lists and silent pressures. The most underrated self-care is boundary setting, not just with other people, but with yourself. You have to draw lines around your peace and defend it like your life depends on it, because it kinda does. You have to learn how to say, this can wait. Or no, I'm not available for that energy today. That's how you lower your stress. That's how you reclaim your youth, not by chasing the fountain of youth, but by creating an inner world that doesn't drain you every second of the day. People talk about self-care like it's a bubble bath, but real self-care is nervous system regulation. It's rest when you don't feel like you've earned it. It's breathing exercises in your car before you walk into a hard conversation. It's pausing instead of reacting. It's leaving a text on read because you don't owe instant access to anyone. That's the kind of care that makes you radiant. That's the kind that keeps your face soft, your heart open, your body loose. Stress steals all of that. It tightens your jaw, clenches your fists, hardens your gaze. You carry it in your posture. You wear it like armor. And over time, people stop seeing you. They just see the tension you've been holding for too long. People who look younger move their bodies daily. Not because they're obsessed with the gym or trying to fit into their jeans from 10 years ago, but because movement is energy. It's circulation. It's vitality. When you move, you tell your body, I'm still in this. You send a signal to your muscles, your joints, your skin, your brain. Wake up, stay active, don't shut down. And that signal, when sent consistently, shows up everywhere. It shows up in the way you walk into a room, the way your face lights up when you talk, the way your body holds itself with presence instead of collapse. People mistake that for youth, but it's not about years. It's about motion. Stillness is where aging speeds up. Not the peaceful kind of stillness, but the sedentary kind. The kind where days blur together because your body hasn't done anything different in weeks. When you stop moving, your posture starts folding in on itself. Your shoulders round forward. Your spine compresses. Your energy drops. You stop bouncing back from little things. Your steps get shorter. Your breath gets shallower. You start feeling older, not because you are, but because you're acting like you've already given up some essential part of being alive. And we're not talking about going beast mode at the gym. You don't need to be dripping sweat or training for a marathon to get the benefits. It's way more about consistency than intensity. It's about treating movement like brushing your teeth, just something you do every day to maintain your system. A 20-minute walk counts, dancing in your kitchen counts. Stretching on the floor while you watch Netflix counts. The point isn't to hit some imaginary goal. The point is to keep your blood flowing, your joints lubricated, your brain firing on all cylinders. Movement doesn't just shape your body, it sharpens your mind. There's a reason people say motion is lotion. Because when you move, you keep your fascia healthy, your muscles flexible, your skin elastic. You sweat, and that detoxifies. You breathe deeper, and that oxygenates. You release endorphins, and that lifts your mood. And mood, that's one of the biggest indicators of youth. People who look younger often seem happier, not because life is easier for them, but because they've built daily rituals that help them process stress instead of store it. Moving your body helps you shake off tension, literally. It's like clearing emotional cobwebs before they turn into something heavier. Look at any person who seems to have that timeless energy and ask them what they do. 9 times out of 10, they're moving their body in some way, every day. Maybe they're not calling it exercise. Maybe it's gardening or walking the dog or doing yoga at home. But the point is, their body hasn't been left behind in the chaos of daily life. And when you stay connected to your body like that, it gives back. It holds you up taller. It gives you more stamina. It keeps you playful. It reminds you that you're not just a head walking around solving problems. You're a whole system. What's wild is that the body doesn't need perfection. It just needs engagement. You can come back after months or years, and it'll respond. It might be stiff or sore at first, but it doesn't resent you. It wants to move. It wants to heal. That's built into your design. But most people wait too long. They tell themselves they'll start once they lose the weight, or once they're less tired, or once they have time. But that's backwards. You move first, then the energy comes. You don't wait to feel good. You create the feeling by doing the thing, and don't underestimate the power of posture. People forget how much youth is communicated through how you stand, how you carry yourself, how you move through space. A lifted chest, a long spine, a steady stride. Those things make you look alive, capable, present. Slouching makes you disappear. It signals exhaustion, defeat, withdrawal. But posture can be trained, and the fastest way to do it is through consistent, simple movement. The more you move, the more aware you become of how you're holding your body, and that awareness alone can shift your entire presence. Movement is the anchor. When life feels chaotic, when your mind is spinning, when emotions feel stuck, moving your body brings you back. It grounds you, it creates momentum where there was stagnation. It doesn't solve every problem, but it changes your state. And when you change your state, you change your choices. You start showing up with more clarity, more confidence, more light. That light is what people see. That's what makes them say, "You don't look your age," and mean it, because they're not just seeing your face. They're seeing your energy and motion. Connection and purpose are the best anti-aging hacks. Not kale, not collagen, not 10-step skincare routines. What keeps you young, what truly keeps you glowing from the inside out, is having something to wake up for and someone to share it with. That sounds simple, but most people don't realize how powerful it is. We're wired for meaning, for community, for laughter, for belonging. And when that goes missing, no amount of external maintenance can replace it. You can have smooth skin and white teeth and still feel hollow. And that hollowness shows. It shows in your eyes, in your energy, in the way you speak about your life. People age faster when they feel invisible, when they don't feel needed, when their life becomes a series of routines instead of a source of inspiration. That lack of purpose chips away at vitality, because energy isn't just physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It comes from knowing you matter, from knowing your existence impacts something outside yourself. Whether it's raising a child, creating art, mentoring someone, starting a project, volunteering, showing up for your community, that sense of contribution is everything. When you lose it, your spark dims. When you find it again, it reignites you, and connection, real heart-level connection, is one of the most healing, youth-preserving forces on the planet. Humans aren't meant to go it alone. We're not meant to carry our pain in silence or celebrate our wins in isolation. Yet so many people do. They disconnect slowly. Life gets busy, friendships fade, and before they know it, they're doing everything solo. That loneliness isn't just emotional, it's physical. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness is as damaging to your health as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It raises inflammation, weakens your immune system, shortens your lifespan. You can look great on paper and still be silently eroding from the inside, but when you have people, real people, who see you, who check in on you, who know your story and still stick around, that kind of connection becomes medicine. It keeps your heart open, it keeps your nervous system regulated, you laugh more, you feel safer, you remember that you belong, and that's the kind of energy people notice. That's what makes someone walk into a room and seem younger than they are. It's not just what they're wearing or how they look. It's the warmth they carry, the presence they radiate, the lightness that comes from being emotionally nourished. And here's the part nobody talks about. Purpose doesn't have to be huge. You don't need to change the world. You just need to be lit up by something. Maybe it's a garden, maybe it's your dog, maybe it's your Saturday morning coffee ritual that gives you a reason to slow down and savor life. It's not the size of the thing, it's the feeling it gives you. Does it give you energy? Does it make you feel alive? That's the metric. Because the moment you stop being curious, the moment you stop reaching for something, you start to wither. You see it in people who have retired, not just from their jobs, but from life. They stop engaging, stop learning, stop connecting, and their bodies follow. Their movements get smaller, their expressions flatten, their energy fades. It's not age that did that. It's the absence of passion. On the flip side, you meet people in their 60s, 70s, 80s who have that spark, and it's always the same thing. They still care about something. They are still involved, still interested, still contributing. That mindset changes how they carry their bodies, how they speak, how they treat people. That's not just inspiring. It's magnetic. We think youth is about appearance, but it's really about engagement. Are you still in the game? Are you still choosing to show up fully? Are you still connected to people who remind you who you are when you forget? Those questions matter more than any number, because youth isn't a decade, it's an energy. It's a way of relating to the world. And when you have strong relationships and something meaningful to pour your energy into, you stop trying to chase youth. You become the kind of person people want to be around. Because you make life feel richer just by being in it. There's a glow that comes from feeling seen. From laughing with people who get you. From being part of something that matters, even in a small way. That glow is the real secret. It makes you stand out without trying. It softens your features. It deepens your voice with conviction. It relaxes your body. It quiets your fear. It makes you look younger not because you're trying to, but because your life is still expanding instead of shrinking. And when your life is expanding, your body responds. Your cells respond. Your whole presence shifts into something brighter, more grounded, more magnetic. It's not genetics. It's your habits, repeated daily. That's the part no one wants to admit, because it puts the responsibility back on you. It's easier to point to someone's parents or blame DNA than to take a long, honest look at the choices being made every day. But the truth is, while genetics set the stage, your habits are the director. They determine how the story unfolds. You can be handed great genes and still age fast if you treat your body like an afterthought. You can have average genetics and still look and feel incredible if you show up for yourself consistently. Even in small ways, habits don't have to be glamorous to be powerful. In fact, most of the ones that keep people looking and feeling young are incredibly simple. Hydration, sleep, movement, real food, sunlight, laughing, deep breaths. Boundaries, none of that is revolutionary. But it's rare to see people actually doing it with any real consistency. Everyone's chasing hacks and shortcuts, but the secret's been the same all along. Showing up for the basics, over and over, even when no one's watching, especially then, because your body is always listening. It's taking notes. And it remembers how you treat it. People want results without the ritual. They want energy without rest, glow without nourishment, clarity without stillness. But it doesn't work like that. You can't fake wellness. Your skin will tell the truth. So will your posture, your mood, your patience, your presence. Youth isn't maintained through intensity. It's maintained through devotion, through small, daily acts of self-respect that add up over time. You won't see it after one workout, one green smoothie, one early bedtime, but give it 30 days, 60, 90. Watch what shifts when your body starts trusting that you're not going to abandon it again. The people who seem to defy age aren't perfect. They're consistent. They've built tiny systems that support their well-being on autopilot. Maybe they stretch while their coffee brews. Maybe they turn their phone off an hour before bed. Maybe they drink water before caffeine. Maybe they journal instead of doom scrolling. None of those things seem like a big deal in the moment, but they compound, and that compound effect is what people don't see. They just see the glow, the calm, the strength. They don't realize it's the result of hundreds of tiny, often boring choices that all say the same thing. I'm not giving up on myself, and it's not just physical habits. Mental habits shape you too. The way you talk to yourself, the thoughts you feed, the stories you repeat. Those all impact how you show up in your body. People who carry self-compassion age differently. They don't walk around with their stress written across their foreheads. They don't live in a loop of comparison and shame. That peace they've cultivated mentally reflects in their face, in their voice, in the way they move through the world. You can't separate the internal from the external. Everything's connected. We've been sold this lie that looking young is about constant effort and fighting time. But it's not a fight. It's a relationship. You're either in partnership with your body, or you're constantly working against it. And that relationship is shaped through the habits you choose every day. Are you ignoring your needs or listening to them? Are you numbing or nurturing? Are you skipping meals and calling it discipline? Or are you eating in a way that keeps you alive instead of just functioning? These are the questions that matter more than the number on your birth certificate. What you do occasionally doesn't change much. What you do every day shapes your identity, and your identity creates your lifestyle. People who look youthful without trying aren't relying on luck. They've made choices that align with the future they want. They're not thinking, how can I look good next week? They're thinking, how can I feel good 5 years from now? That shift in mindset makes all the difference. It moves you from short-term fixes to long-term freedom, from reacting to aging to actively participating in how you experience it. There's no magic formula, no perfect routine, no one-size-fits-all answer. But there is truth in the pattern of people who prioritize their energy, their recovery, their mindset, their food, their rest, their joy, not once in a while, daily, even when life is hard. Especially then, because those are the moments that define you. Not when it's easy, but when it's tempting to give up. When it would be simpler to default back into survival mode, autopilot, convenience. But the ones who stay vibrant are the ones who don't wait until they feel like it. They act like the person they want to become, and the body eventually follows. The energy catches up, the glow returns. Not because they're chasing youth, but because they're choosing presence. Every day, without drama, without shortcuts, without skipping the work that no one else sees.